You don't begin to be a shooter when you grab the ball or when you catch the ball. You become a shooter as soon as you step on the court. You're always thinking like a shooter, and that means before you even catch the ball, you're thinking shot. We break it down really into 3 parts, in that you're always seeing the ball, you're catching the ball and ready to shoot the ball with your hands. So eyes, hands, and feet. I make them go back to just not even using your guide hand to begin with, and making sure that you can see a little gap in between. If I can't see a gap, then I know we have a problem. So I go back to just having them shoot with 1 ball, 2 feet underneath the basket, going back to the very basics to make sure. One of the things that I talk to my players about when I feel like they're getting their elbow out just a little bit too far is imagine that there's a wall, that they're standing against a wall, and sometimes I'll actually put my back to them so that it forces their elbow to stay in. If they come out, they're going to hit me in the elbow, or they would hit that wall. So that's forcing them really to keep their elbow in. The other thing I make sure is when they do shoot the ball that they're getting the proper follow through. Many times they'll just leave their hand hanging up there. And if they're not completely followed through, I tell them to grab over the rim. Pretend like you're grabbing the rim, and that will ensure that you're going to have follow through. So that's another easy correction that can be made, just talking about grabbing the rim. The confidence comes through with a lot of repetitions. If you lose confidence, or if you don't believe you're a great shooter, you won't be. People have said, you know, great shooters are born, and I think great shooters are made with perfect practice. You know, I see kids all the time shooting for hours and hours and hours, but if they're not using the right technique, it doesn't matter. You're not going to make yourself a great shooter. You need to work on the proper technique every single day. An hour with the proper technique will give you 100 times more than 100 hours with the wrong technique.